Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Pricing and Profit Talk or workshop. So, as part of the wonderful platform here, you have access to this talk. Now, one of the things that I constantly have conversations with doulas about is pricing. It's money, profit. How do you do it? How do you do it full time? How do you have a level of comfort to know that you are going to receive a adequate compensation for yourself, so you can, continue your business, you can flourish, you can, be sustainable to help your family, all those sorts of things. And so I just wanted to share a few key points today about pricing, which should have a rippling effect to the profit side. But I want to focus a little bit more on pricing. So pricing, I would say it depends on, you should make it dependent on your area as the first key. So the price for a doula, the cost for a doula, the expense to hire a doula in Alaska could be very different from Florida. Could be very different from California, could be very different from South Carolina. So understand your area. Know, are there a lot of doulas there? What is the competition like? What are the price points that current doulas have in your area? Understand the climate, understand the environment, and so that way you can see where you fall into it. If the doulas in your area are, requiring, for a birth packages around $1,500, then that's important for you to know that. Or, between $1,250 and $1,500 is the average. That's important for you to know that. So then you can know where do you fall within that based upon your requirements when it comes to compensation. So understanding your area and knowing that it can vary. So having a conversation with another doula in North Carolina and you live in California, understand that those price points are different. So anything that you read, conversations that you have with other doulas, make sure you take it with a grain of salt, so that way you can know that for your area it may be different. So the price that you should set certainly should depend on the area as to what is the going rate. I am always an advocate to not do hourly costs or hourly expenses as a doula. Just because what we provide is of such value that I think your pricing should be based on value strategies, not an hourly strategy. If you're birth doula and you're working with a birth that's 15 hours, I don't necessarily think that you should just get an hourly wage or an hourly expense for that. You are providing such great value that you should claim it to a value expense, because the difference is one birth could be 15 hours. One birth could be 4 hours. So did you not provide similar value to both births? Of course you did, because of your knowledge, because of your competency, because of your skill sets, because of your passion, because of what you're able to offer. So regardless if that birth is 15 hours or 4 hours, you should be compensated appropriately to the value that you offer to that birth. And so that's one of the reasons why I believe that you should do value pricing versus an hourly price point. Understanding, you can certainly turn it around and understand what if you decide your value, understand what that hourly wage or the hourly amount would look like, but don't start there. That shouldn't be your baseline. That shouldn't be your criteria. Your criteria should be of value, and then say, okay, well, that's my value point. So, okay, now if I needed to say what that was on an hourly basis, that would be ABC. Okay, so, and it should be based on your skills and your experience. So think about what you're offering. Think about the services that you're offering. Think about your experience, your background, and what you're able to offer as a doula. Your traditional services, the birth doula, traditional services, postpartum, but as we have spoken to about many times before, there's a lot of niche area. There's a lot of specialty area. There's a lot of opportunity for you to be unique and to stand out among the doula community. So think about those, because those two add to that bucket of value, of added on value to, if you were a massage therapist, when you're doing a birth, working as a birth doula, adding that is of great value. So that is one way that you can stand out, and that's one way that you know that your adequate compensation will be a little bit more than a doula who doesn't do such a service. Or if you're doing postpartum and you add in cooking or grocery shopping or meal planning or anything, nutrition classes. If you add those sorts of things in, then that is a little bit more value than a traditional postpartum doula. So think about what it is that you have to offer. And again, all of that bundled together is how you should consider or base your pricing on. Your niche, your value that you offer. And it helps you be able to demand the price or demand the cost that you are looking to have within your area. So depending on the area where you live geographically, depending on your skills and experience, and depending on your niche, those are some key pieces that you should consider when you're thinking about, what is it should I set as my cost, as my price? Okay. Now, whenever you set that number, definitely do an assessment, evaluation, or review of it, at least on an annual basis, for multiple reasons. One, the market changes, right? And two, as doulas, we're constantly growing, we're constantly developing. Whether you've been a doula for 2 years or 20 years, there's always still more to learn. And so within that course of that given year, what else have you added to your toolbox? What else have you added to your specialties or to your niche? What other training or certifications did you get? What other experience did you have that you can really help moms and families even more because of that experience you had that particular year? So for those reasons, you definitely need to review your pricing, your packages, your services that you offer, but certainly your prices that you offer as well, because things change throughout that year. Not only the market change, but you as an individual, you as a doula change and get better and better and better. And so see if the price remaining stable is sufficient for you, or if you need to increase the price, if that's warranted because of your new skill set or a new offering or a new niche that you're undertaking. So do that review of your price point. Now, when it comes to pricing strategies, there's a lot of different price models out there, and there's a worksheet that I will definitely put in the financial literacy toolbox that you can look into and review at your leisure. But there's tons of pricing models, but I would just want to mention two that I believe that regardless of where you are in the world, regardless of where you are as a doula, as a new doula, a doula that's been for 10 years or more, two strategies that work. One is the seasonal strategy, where seasons change, right? So people are saying, get ready for the new year, right, in the winter, or season changes, spring is about to blossom, spring is coming, get ready with extra, or summer with exercising, eating right, all these sorts of things. So there's certain times within the year as a culture and society, we like to get ready for, we like to prepare for, right? It's supposed to be like a new transition, a new time, a new season. In those times as doulas, what else is new in our world besides bringing in a baby into this world, right? And so capitalize on that. Use that as part of your pricing strategy. It can be a spring special. It can be childbirth classes, a series that you offer. It can be the spring discount for that, or it can be, the summer bazaar, summer bonanza of health education classes that you're offering, or, it can be a winter hibernation discount. My point is, go with the seasons and what folks are normally used to seeing around those times, or even holidays, if that works for you too. Go around the holidays, or just offer some sort of discount or even perceived discount on your services due to the changes in the season. It works. Folks love to have some sort of discount, love to make sure they're getting things at a good value. And so even if your discount is 5%, 10%, do that, and then couch it around a seasonal change or a holiday or a major event that happens in the country. That really helps with people saying, I got to do it now. One, right? I need to sign the contract now. I need to reach out to her and do a assessment or do a consult with her now, because the discount is only for this point. It's only for this season, or, this summer comes, it's going to be off. Think of the seasonal change and see how that works with your pricing strategy and your packages, and it probably could work for you. It works for most doulas. So consider the seasonal changes as a pricing strategy. is using as one of your pricing models. And then also the other one, then again, there's tons of pricing models, and I have some literature that I will make sure is available for you. But the second one that always is a go-to, and again, regardless if you've been a doula or certified for a day or for 10 years, that is the referred client. You can call them referred client, you can call them preferred. So referred client or a preferred client or customer or anything else of that nature. But it goes back to somebody who knows you or was introduced to you by somebody else. That discount goes so far. And it can be something as simple as 5%, or it can be something that may not be a financial discount, but it may be an extra service. For example, for preferred clients, instead of doing, 3-hour visits, maybe your last visit is 4 hours or 5 hours, or instead of 3 visits, maybe you offer 4 visits. Something that's tangible that they can see as, because they are preferred or referred client, you were the doula for their neighbor, for their girlfriend, or for their church member. And because of that, you're throwing in a little something extra, right? That type of discount or that type of pricing strategy goes really far. And again, it's something that you can do. Be creative, but it's something you can do at any stage in your doula practice, your doula career. It can be something financial, like I said, a discount off, or it can be an extra service that you offer. It can be an extra item, a promotional item that you give them. It's just something that you do for a preferred client. It could be something as simple as, pillows. Maybe you have a pillow with your branding, or a pillow with a cute baby's name or baby image on it or something, and that's something extra you throw in with the package. I don't know. The point is, definitely try to do a strategy, or when it comes down to pricing, definitely have a strategy that includes some sort of referred or bonus or preferred client. It really works. And depending on what it is that you do, if it's something, like I said, simple as a pillow or something as simple as a blanket, you do not have to eat the cost of that. If you know that is something that you're going to consider, again, when you're thinking of those pricing in your area, include the cost of that blanket, include the cost of that pillow into your pricing structure. So if the pillow costs $5, if for a particular service you knew you already were going to just charge $100 for it, but what if that person that signs up, their client signs up, is a preferred client, and you want to give them a pillow that costs $5? So now that package needs to be at least $105 or $110 or $115. So that way you're not eating the cost in order to gain clients. You never want to get into that. That's a slippery slope. But you can, again, this is all about strategizing and thinking about it in advance. And so that way, whether it's a preferred client or another discount or a seasonal discount, you're still getting the bare minimum of the cost that you need to have, the profit that you need to have, okay? And so that leads me into the other part about profit. So again, never do the hourly rate. And these are some of the other reasons why you never do that, right? Because you want to make sure you cover all of your expenses. And your expenses could include expenses such as gas. It can be, your uniform, whatever it is that you wear for the doula. It could be items that you're placing in your doula bag. It can be the gift that you give to the family after the birth. Whatever those expenses are, plus your time, your energy, your skills, your knowledge, your presence, that is quantifiable. That is something that you definitely should consider and include in your pricing points. So your direct expenses, the cost to fill up your gas, the cost to put items in your doula bag, the cost to print out materials, for the package that you want to leave with the family, the cost for whatever those direct items are, right? So you have that plus those indirect costs, or those softer costs, such as your skills, your knowledge, your experience. All of that together should be what your base cost is, right? Now, whatever that cost is, 2 times to 2.5 times it, and that is the cost, or that's the price that needs to be for your package, okay? Always have that wiggle room of double, right? even 2.5 times. That depends on your market, whether that will work well, but at least 2 times. Because again, you're going to always offer some sort of discount, some sort of preferred discount or item, right? So you always want to make sure that you are well above your minimum expenses and your cost, your price for yourself, your salary, or whatever you want to consider it for yourself. So always, whatever your price point is, 2 times it at least, in order to make sure you have that wiggle room, right, for those discounts, those wiggle room for the changes in the environment, those wiggle rooms for there's a new expense that you didn't think of that you need to use. You don't want to all of a sudden be eating costs, or you don't want to all of a sudden have to always be changing your costs, you know, on your website because you didn't think of things. At least do it 2 times above, you know, double it, whatever that cost is, because you will always have some wiggle room. Okay, and with that, also just want to say, when you have income from being a doula, one of the ways of, and we'll do another chat on this a little bit later, just about investing and saving and preparing for retiring and things like that as a doula. But with the profit side, a good rule of thumb is a 50-30-20. So 50% of whatever comes in as from your doula practice, it comes to you as your salary, right? Because you're the doula, right? You are your practice, you are your business. So 50% of it should go to your salary, 30% of it should be reinvested into the business, and 20% should be left for savings, as well as, I would say, just a pool or a fund in order to be able to pull the taxes out of, or anything like that. So it's your rainy day fund, it's your savings, it's your management reserve, whatever you want to call it. But that's some funds that you just put to the side that you don't touch unless you need to touch it. So 50% goes to you as through your salary, 30% is reinvested, whether it's reinvested in marketing, whether it's reinvested in your skill sets and your trainings, and then 20% is set aside as your management reserve or your savings. Okay, so those are just some key points that I just wanted to share regarding pricing and profit. There's still a lot more to it. There's a couple items that I'll put in the financial literacy toolbox, so you can definitely review it at your leisure. Feel free to shoot me any questions or comments. I am happy to go into any area a little bit further, divulge into a little bit further if that is helpful for you. But with that, I am so appreciative of you taking some time out to sit with me and have a little chat about pricing and profit. And I will see you soon.